conocer al concejal del Distrito 15, Raymond López, del distrito en donde ocurre el ataque contra Jano Fuentes anoche, que nos tome la llamada. Va a ser una entrevista en inglés, si me permiten. I want to thank you, Alderman Lopez, for taking our call. How are you?
I'm well. How are you today?
Concerned, devastated about this violence that is not stopping by any means in our streets. What's going on in your district?
In our neighborhoods in the 15th Ward, we have seen increased gang and drug activity, violence. The gun violence is not decreasing despite our best efforts. So we're looking at different ways and different avenues to bring more resources to combat gangs and crimes in different manners. Next week, I'll be introducing a resolution to the City Council calling on Congress to reinstate the assault weapons ban, the military-style weapons that are plaguing our streets. Just the other day, I was in the neighborhood helping a resident with one of their concerns when someone unloaded a semi-automatic rifle in back of the Yards neighborhood. 40 rounds were unleashed onto the block. That could have been a massacre of our own right here in Chicago. We have to get these guns off the streets. We have to start being more aggressive with landlords that rent indiscriminately to gang members, and we have to bring more opportunities for youth this summer if we want it to be a safe summer.
I don't know if you're aware of this situation, this case, particular that we are following. Jano Fuentes is a teacher, an acting teacher, a theater teacher in the South Side. He has his academy on Archer and Kedzie, and he's a well-known person in the Latino community in Chicago. He was attacked last night. He is in critical condition in a hospital. He was shot outside his academy. And
3 times.
Three
yes,
times.
I'm aware.
What do we do? What do we do? Because I've been telling people, something has to be done to stop this violence until our loved ones are impacted, until our loved ones become victims of this violence. And unfortunately, now we're talking about a friend. How do we help, Alderman?
Last night's attack was I'm told, was a robbery, an unfortunate robbery.
If someone is trying to rob you, doesn't shoot you 3 times in the head, Alderman.
We've had in the past week several instances of attempted armed robbery within Brighton Park, which is the neighborhood you're talking about.
Yes.
In the old days, you would think that people just, hey, give me your money, maybe push you or steal your purse. Now, because of the prevalence of weapons on our streets, almost every criminal is walking around fully armed. This shooting, I don't know the exact particulars of what exchanged between he and the attacker, but I do know what the outcome was, and it was unfortunate, and it's horrible. And for all of us to try to come up with solutions, one of which is we have to be vigilant. The other is that we have to get the amount of guns off our streets. And when we do arrest individuals committing crimes with weapons, they need to receive the maximum sentence. We need to show up to court and demand the judge to apply maximum sentencing, because too often people who are committing these kinds of crimes are getting a slap on the wrist or are out in 6 months. And that is unacceptable for our community.
Alderman Raymond López del Distrito 15 hablando con nosotros sin censura. Alderman, I know you're a freshman. You took office not too long ago. This is a newly formed district. But what's the responsibility of the alderman in the entire city of Chicago for not being able to stop this? Can you be clear to our audience about this responsibility? Because it seems that it's taking too long. It has taken already too long to stop this violence.
Well, it's not just an alderman's responsibility to stop violence. It's all of our responsibility. And I will tell you that even in my 13 months in office, I've brought the sheriff to my neighborhoods. I've brought more resources to my neighborhoods. I've brought more police and connected them with the community every week. But by and large, we all have to be responsible for the crime in our community. All of us know who the problem houses are, who the problem families are, and when we see people that are doing criminal acts, when we see people who don't belong in our neighborhoods casing our homes, checking our cars, and following our families, we need to step up. Everyone needs to step up and start reporting, not giving in to fear, not looking the other way, and not acting like there's not a problem. There's a very big problem in our neighborhoods, and last night is proof that it is still in our neighborhoods. We all need to be vigilant. Not just saying, well, the alderman doesn't do anything, or the mayor doesn't do anything, or the city doesn't do anything. Every single resident in Chicago must stand up and start taking back their city. Call the police, get involved, and don't let these individuals take your neighborhood from you.
I must agree with you on that, Raymond López. Alderman, I will only ask for a favor. Don't let this guy down. Please support this case and push the authorities to go and give the resources needed to find the shooters, because Jano Fuentes was a productive member of is a productive member of our society, of our community, and he's by himself. I know you can relate to the migrant story of Jano Fuentes. He's by himself, and as we speak, the family is trying to get to Chicago. He's by himself in this country, as I mentioned, and they need your help.
Well, we will stand with him and welcome him back on his road to recovery, and we will commit ourselves to catching this criminal.
I hope
everything we can to bring this man to justice.
I hope it's soon, and I really thank you for your time. And if there is anything we can do from our outlet, from the media, to inform the community about the efforts to stop this violence, please count us in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Raymond López, del Distrito 15, hablando sin censura aquí en Chicago, en este espacio, en algo que en Chicago tiene que parar. Insisto, el llamado es para que pare la ola de violencia, y usted tiene mucho que hacer, y yo tengo mucho que hacer. Todos tenemos que hacer.
Sin censura, las noticias como son.
Amigo Insurance, 773